Good morning, Ricky here. I wanted to jump on here and talk about how to actually use a notebook, how I use one, how I develop goals and track the goals throughout the year. First question is like, why keep one? Most guitar players, myself included, I spent 10 years playing the same old stuff over and over, never really seeing any progress. And the notebook idea kind of changes that. It gets you out of your comfort zone, keeps you oriented, keeps you on track for achieving whatever guitar goals you have. Um, so, first step is creating some goals for yourself. How do you do that? Well, who do you want to sound like? Do you want to learn songs? Do you want to be able to improvise? If you do want to improvise, who do you want to sound like? Who are your favorite artists? What do they do? Are they playing diatonic scales? Are they playing pentatonic scales? Are they following chord tones? The answer to a lot of that is yes. So, foundational knowledge, pentatonic scale, diatonic scale, chords, some kind of visualization system, 3 notes per string, or I use cage system, combination of 3 notes per string, cage system, pentatonic shapes, intervals. They once you're once you spend enough time with all this, it kind of overlaps and blends in together. So, um, learn some foundational stuff. Um, are you happy with your playing? Are you not happy with your playing? Can you jump into a jam track and improvise if you want to be able to improvise? If the answer is no, or if you're unhappy with certain aspects of your playing, well, solve those problems. Solving those problems will give you bullet points to chase after throughout the year. Your goals are remedying those weaknesses that you feel like you have. So if you want to learn a song, if you want to emulate your favorite player, if you're unhappy with certain aspects of your playing, write down a list of what you want to work on. Foundational stuff, chords, cage system, pentatonic scales, arpeggios, diatonic scales. Those are all foundational stuff that you're never going to not use with guitar. So it's always good to practice those things. So write those down if you don't know that stuff, write them down as a yearly goal, to learn the cage system across the neck, for example. And the next step would be breaking those larger goals into monthly goals. So a good rule of thumb is like find the most effective habits for achieving whatever goals you have, and then double down your efforts on those effective habits. So if you want to sound like Hendrix, for example, far fetched, but let's just use him as an example. You probably want to learn your minor pentatonic scale, your major pentatonic scale. You want to learn how melodies work within those, so like chimes and stuff, little fill ideas that you can do with your major pentatonics and minor pentatonics to kind of emulate that. So you would want to learn the cage system, you want to learn a little bit about intervals, and then you would want to put on some of his backing tracks or chord progression or something that has that style, and then just try to learn embellishments using that foundational information to emulate Hendrix. So, I mean, that would be kind of like a bird's eye view of wanting to sound like Hendrix, breaking it down into achievable goals where you're learning the cage system, you're learning how it works in relation to the chord, and you're learning little embellishments and stuff. So that breaks it down into some really keystone habits that you can chase after daily to be able to sound like Hendrix. And that's the whole idea of this video and keeping track of with a notebook is like learning equals behavior change. So you're never gonna. We theorize so much information as guitar players. We can say we know caged, we can intellectualize it, but when it comes down to it, can we really use caged effectively over music that we don't know, or even that we do know? Can we keep up with the chord changes? Can we find the chords? If the answer is no, you don't really know caged. You can theorize it, but can you chase it across the neck? If the answer is no, we have more work to do. Learn the foundational knowledge, and then, like I said, learning equals behavior change. Put on a jam track. Let's say we're jamming in the key of A. We're going to use the cage system to track A chord tones across the neck. If you can do that effectively over the jam track, that means that you've integrated this knowledge. You've actually learned it. So you're achieving your goal of learning the cage system, let's say. And if the answer is no, there's still work to do. Pick one small section, and let's do that for week 1 of March. Let's say we're gonna track the A major chord using the E form in the 5th position. We're gonna do that week, and by the end of the week, by the end of the month, if you can successfully do that over a jam track, it's like you've learned it, you've integrated that knowledge. So that's the idea. Get a bird's eye view of where you want to go, who you want to sound like, your weak areas. Create a bullet list of daily, or first of all, goals, and then break it down further into monthly goals, and then into daily goals, and then track it. That's what I do. I've got yearly, monthly. Every time a new month rolls around, I'll write down goals for that month that relate to my overall goals for the year to chase throughout the month of March. For, let's say, I'm going to do that after this video. Write down some goals for myself for the month of March that are in relation to my yearly goals. So I want to be able to play 16th notes at 140 beats a minute. So this month, my goal is going to be, let's do 16th notes at 110 beats per minute. And every day throughout each week, like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'll put a number by the day. So today's Friday, I'll put 30 minutes of, let's say if I spent 30 minutes practicing, I'm going to write down 30 next to Friday. So that way, over the course of the month, I'll be able to see, did I put the time in? If I'm not getting the results that I wanted, if I'm not able to play 16th notes, for example, at 110 beats per minute, I'll look at my notebook. Did I put the time in? If I did, I'll probably be able to play that, at that speed, at the goal that I wanted. The idea is to create realistic goals. If it's unrealistic, I'm not going to be able to achieve it. So let's be real with ourselves and set achievable goals. And if I put no time into it and didn't achieve it, there's my answer. I didn't work hard enough. Because when it comes down to it, learning equals behavior change equals time put in. So if you're putting the time in and tracking progress towards your goals, you're going to get better. That's like anything in life. If you're putting the work in, you're going to get better. And the notebook allows you to do that. It allows you to track the time that you put in. So if you're unhappy with your progress, you can look back. It's like, oh, I didn't put any time in last week, so I didn't make any progress. So maybe we're going to try to do better next week. It holds you accountable. It's a great tool to have. So that's quick video. I don't want to make it too long-winded. I've tried to make a couple other videos and it's way too long. Nobody wants to sit through a 15-minute video. So yeah, that's it. Get a bird's eye view of the direction you want to go, whatever flaws you have in your playing that you want to overcome. Write that stuff down, stuff to work on for 2025. And then every month that comes around, revisit your goals for the year. Are you on track? Are you making progress? Where you need to tweak it, write down some monthly goals for yourself. And then throughout the weeks, write a game plan for the week. So that way, if I only have 30 minutes today with my instrument, I'm going to pull out my notebook, I'm going to open up my page, and I'm going to see. I'm going to warm up. I'm going to practice the A major pentatonic across the fretboard for 5 minutes. And then I'm going to put on a jam track, and I'm going to chase A major chords and A major pentatonic over that jam track for 10 minutes, let's say. I'm applying the knowledge that I'm really focused on and training to achieve in real time over real music. And then you just do that every day. So that way you sit down for your practice session, you've got a game plan. I've got 30 minutes and I'm going to tackle these 3 to 5 things during that 30-minute session. Write down the number of minutes that you spent and then do the same thing the next day. At least do it a few times a week. This keeps you on track. And the beauty of it is if you actually do this work, you'll see progress in your playing. You'll be able to do things that you previously couldn't do, because that's why you wrote the goals down, because you couldn't do it. You wanted to be able to achieve it. You worked hard at it. You tracked the time. You were able to achieve it. And what that does, it gives you so much positive emotion that you can actually achieve what you're wanting out of the instrument. And you can see that by the number of minutes that you put into it, and you'll see it come across in your playing when you're playing by yourself or for jam track or with your friends or with your band. That's just kind of how it goes. So time put in equals results on the instrument. So use a notebook to help you orient yourself and keep you on track and motivated. I hope this video helps, and I'm going to use mine and get to practicing. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a good weekend.